Late at night, the swish of the candles churn, but it's my sore muscles that burn. The four walls close in on me, but then again, they remain my friend. I thank them as I turn in. But then again, I just toss and turn. In my head are the numbers and figures, consumed with not letting my debt get bigger. Moving at 3 hours sleep a night, the body has become slight. And no, I'm not living right. My angels say, don't you go out without a fight. I start sweating before my eyes close, up again with blood out my nose. The little miss at essay says, you got to chill, G. But it's the dead monster that chases me. I know the first and last of the guy on the corner. It's fucked up when the grind plays tricks on you. What's going on, K-2s? That poem, guys, was written back when I was deep in it. When I was deep in my going after my debt freedom. That poem was written in my journal, guys, back in October of 2015. Here we are now, guys, April of 2024. I went debt free in 2017. Here I am now before you guys right now. Been through it, been through the fire, and now on the other side. Guys, hard to believe, right? I'm on the other side now, guys, of building wealth. I'm now at a point now where I'm able to help other people. Some of you guys out there, some of you guys that reach out to me, I can help you out. In this video, guys, I'm gonna detail start to finish, or start to not finish, but at least we got to start. A guy reached out to me back in September of last year, 2023. He wanted me to assess his situation, where he was. I'll explain that to you as we go along in this next video, but he reached out to me. He needed help desperately, and I was able to help him out in this situation. This video, guys, is going to give you guys a detailed analysis of how I thought about where he was in his finances and how I helped him out with his budget and put him on the right path to building wealth, getting out of debt and building wealth. Okay? All right, so I hope you guys doing well. Stay tuned. Enjoy the video. What's going on, my K-2s? Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. Haven't seen you guys in a minute. Been a couple of weeks, but here I am. Your boy K-2 is back in the flesh again. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the K-2 universe. Welcome to the financial health revolution. Welcome to the K-2 financial health channel. Welcome. Good to have you here. If you're new again, you're welcome to like the video. If you like what you hear, you think this can be useful for someone else long term, share this information with them, share this video with them. I'll like the video again if you like what you hear, and I ask for you to subscribe to the video so you can get more information on good financial health information that can advance you down the road as well. K-2s, welcome back. Guys, again, I haven't seen you guys in a minute. Hope you're doing well. You guys know, again, I'm going to cover some things before I get in my next video. You guys know that I'm out to prove to myself I can do this. I'm out to show you guys, if you're going to rock with me and roll with me, I'm going to show you guys the way. Show you guys the way to not only get out of debt, get your mind right and getting out of debt, put an emergency fund in place, but also get yourself in a situation where you're at the point where now you can start putting some things in place, right? Start playing with money, right? Start putting some things in place where you start growing your money, right? Okay, so I don't want you guys, I've heard all kinds of stories here the last few months about people being swindled or being taken advantage of. Listen, guys, don't fall for the jump the fence crowd, right? What do I call jump the fence crowd? What do I mean by jump the fence crowd, right? You know, you ever been to a sleazy car salesman, right? You ever been to a guy that thinks he's a car salesman because he jumped the fence of the car lot? Now he's a car salesman, right? He comes across sleazy and grimy, right? You get the heebie-jeebies when you talk to him, right? Trying to swindle you out of something, trying to make a quote unquote deal with you by giving you a lemon, right? Trying to sell you a lemon, right? You know the jump the fence crowd, right, guys? You know the guys you see on YouTube every now and then. You know the guys who jump the fence of the airport and run from security by sitting in a jet for a few minutes and tell you that that's their jet and that they can do this for you, they can do that for you, right? Wait for it, right? After them talking 35, 40 minutes about themselves and tell you what they can do for you, wait for it, right? That wait for it moment comes where they ask you to, just send me $2,500, $3,000, and I can show you the way. I can show you how to make $1 million in 6 months, right? I can show you how to get out of debt in 2 weeks, right? Those people, right, guys? The jump the fence crowd. You know the jump the fence crowd, guys. The guys who jump the fence from a church and breaks out a church window and now he's a quote unquote preacher, right? These false prophets, right? That's what we call them, right, guys? Right? The fake, the falsehoods, the fakes, right? And now he's trying to preach to you about trying to make you feel bad about not joining his group, not joining his set, not joining his religion, right? You know the fake preachers out there, right, guys? The hypocrites, right? The guys who try to preach to you, make you feel bad, make you feel guilty about not joining their religion, right? Those people, right, guys? The jump the fence crowd, the national debt people out here who talks a good game, right? They charge you $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 to quote unquote get out of debt when you can do it yourself, right? So I'm telling you guys this because, again, I've heard stories. I've had friends of friends that are susceptible to these kind of things, right? Some of you guys out there are susceptible to these kind of things, right? Because what they do, they try to take advantage of you, right? Try to take advantage of your emotions with your money. Try to take advantage of where you are in your life, right? You know, Murphy's Law is lingering out there, but the cousins of Murphy's Law are, broke, desperate, and stupid, right? And I've been there, guys. I've been there. I've made bad decisions when I got emotional where I was in my life with my debt and my money, right? And these people out there, these shysters, right? These people who give you the heebie-jeebies, guys, run for the hills, right? Run for the hills, guys. Don't fall for these dopes. I'm going to give you guys a old school reference, old slick Rick, hip hop, old school reference. Hey, young world, don't fall for these dopes, right? Guys, if you ever in these situations where you're susceptible to these people, getting at you because you feel a certain kind of way about where you are in your life and your finances, reach out to somebody, right? That's why it's great to have an accountability partner. The accountability partner can kind of keep it even Steven, right? Keep you on balance and on par with where you are right now, right? Give you some reality check, right? You're welcome to reach out to me, guys, and that's what the purpose of the KMINUSTWO Health channel is, to help you guys in that situation, right? So don't fall for these fake dopes, right? All right, guys, so let's get into it. Here I am, guys, again. I got some great updates, guys, coming to you. You know what, guys, let me tell you. 2024, I can't wait to share with you guys on my new Dave Ramsey Total Money Maker update here in a few months. 2024 is going to shape up to be the best year. It's going to be the best Dave Ramsey Total Money Maker update I've ever done. And I'm looking forward to it, man. But you guys have not seen me because I got some things in the works. I'm working hard, guys. I'm still grinding 18 hours a day and making it happen, man. I cannot be a false prophet. I cannot be a false preacher. I cannot be a sleazy car salesman, right? I can't be one of these fake gurus online. I have to be able to prove it to you guys. I got to be able to prove it to myself. I got to go out and make it work, make it happen, okay? And it doesn't do me no good to sit here and blab my mouth to you guys if I can't, prove what I'm doing, prove my value, prove my worth, right? To what I'm doing, right? So I don't want to be that guy, right? I want to be a guy. I'm going to sit here and show you guys the way. I got to go out and make it happen, right? So that's what I've been doing. So if you guys, again, you guys don't see me for a couple weeks, you already know what K-2 is doing, okay? All right, guys, let's jump into it. Again, I hope you're doing well and taking care of your financial business for 2024, guys. Let's make it happen. I said in my pre-video, I met a guy back in September, struck up a conversation. He saw I was having my K-2, I had my K-2 t-shirt on, and he asked me what K-2 meant. I said, look, it's my specific financial plan to financial security. I'm at financial stability right now. I shoot for financial security. And it's my plan to get there. And he looks at me and going, well, he looks at me like, man, I don't know anybody that look like me and you ever are at that point. I said, well, hey, what you want to do? Holler at me. What's your goals? And he kind of mentioned some immediate goals he had for himself. And I said, hey man, young fella, get at me, man. If you need some help, I can help you out. So like a couple weeks later, I believe he got at me and we kind of talked a little bit. And I'm gonna shift you guys over and show you what I've done with this guy and kind of go through a budget with you guys and let you know how he got to how I got him to get to where he's at right now and in that budgeting process and getting his mind right to get through this process. Okay, so I'm gonna shift you guys over so you can see what I'm doing here. I'll talk to you guys about this guy. I'm gonna shift you over. Hopefully the glare of my whiteboard here. I got my whiteboard here, guys. Hopefully I shift you over. There's not a big glare on this thing. So let me talk to you guys about this guy. I got some notes here I'm gonna refer to as well, guys. So bear with me here as I go through my notes in my journal, okay? But let me write down. I kind of cheated a little bit about this guy. I kind of wrote some things down where he's at in his life right now. He makes $20 an hour. He gets in 40 hours a week. He does 80 hours every 2 weeks. So it's 80 hours, $20 times 80 hours. He gets $1,600 every 2 weeks on his paycheck. Which means that he makes $41,600 a year. Okay, so his name is Eric. It's not his real name, but I'll make a name up for him. I want to give his real name out, but let's just say Eric. He's 27. He's single, and hopefully you guys can see this. My crazy writing. Hopefully you guys can understand it. He has a high school degree. He's a route driver. Thanks to words that come to mind when I first started talking to Eric, where he was in his finances. He was stressed out, definitely. Worried. If that's the same thing, he's worried. He's very anxious, anxiety all over the place. When I first met him, we first started talking to him about his finances. Man, it was apparent that he was very anxious about what was going on, and I found out more and more. I found out why he was anxious when I started breaking down his finances. Okay, so that's the situation with Eric. Let me tell you some more information. So he has $50,000 in debt. And hopefully you guys can see that. So he has a car loan. His car loan is $20,000, but he pays $550 a month. Okay? He has credit cards. He has one credit card, and that credit card is $5,000. which he pays the minimum amount. It's like $35 a month, and then he has a student loan. Okay, his student loan is $13,500. Okay, at the time, I didn't get how much he was paying that on a monthly basis. He has a collections. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this down there. Hopefully, you guys can see it. He has collections. Now there's two type of collections I call. There's live collections. There's live collections, and there's dead collections. All right. The live collections were the people who were calling him on a daily basis, right? The dead collections, he knew they were out there, but they were not reaching out to him for whatever reason. He knew they were there, but his live collections were $5,000. Dead collections were another $5,000. Okay, so let's just give you guys a perspective where he's at and what's going on. Oh, forgot. He's got a payday loan, a nagging payday loan of $1,500. And if you know anything about payday loans, if you don't have the money, payday loans are based on you give them a check. You gotta have a job, right? You give them a bank check for money you're borrowing, and they delay your payment based on your paychecks. So you get paid 2 weeks later. You take the money back in there and pay them the amount you owe them plus interest. And a lot of these payday loans are going to charge you a crazy amount of interest. When you go back and repay that loan, let's say you take out $250. Well, when you go back in there, you may owe them $350, $400, right? That's how this thing works. And it's easy to get behind on these payday loans, right? These are the true loan sharks out there, guys, right? Okay, so let me erase all this. I just want to give you guys a breakdown of who Eric is and where he's at in his process, right? And hopefully you guys can, again, I'll try to write better here, okay? I know my writing is not the best. Okay, so again, going back to my notes, tell you more about Eric. When he first started out, he was behind on his 4 walls, right? What are the 4 walls? 4 walls are what you do to take care of yourself on a daily basis, right? Your living expenses, your rent, transportation needs, right? Food, clothing, utilities, right? That kind of thing. So he's behind on his rent, and he's behind $100 on his electric bill. Okay. He stated also that part of his $41,000 was going toward a Roth IRA at his job. He was putting in 6% of his money on his Roth every 2 weeks. He was also benefiting from the company giving him another 3%. So he thought it was a pretty good situation. He felt pretty good about it. As I talked to him, he wanted to continue that. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about our conversation a little bit. I got some notes here, guys. I'm going to give you this what came out of our conversations. Basically, let's break this down a little further for him on his paychecks, on his income. Now, again, you guys need to understand, just because you make $40,000, $50,000, $100,000, right? You're not basing your financial plan on that, right? You're basing your financial plan on what money comes out after the money comes out of like, for example, the money come out of your check, right? FICA, Social Security, state, federal taxes, medical insurance, all that stuff, right? Okay, so you got to understand, it's not based on the money that your gross, it's based on your net, right? And this is his gross, but his net was subtract $8,632, right? That's all the other stuff that came out of his check, right? Throughout the year. The federal, the state, the FICA, the Social Security, the medical, and all that good stuff from his job, right? He's a single guy. He had medical insurance from his job. All that stuff came out. All right. So it comes out to his money that's going to get him through all this. The net is $32,968. Right? So that's the money he's going to be using to power him through getting out of debt and building wealth. Okay? All right. So that's what we got to understand. So I asked Eric, what are his goals? What kind of goals do he have? I gave him 5 years. Give me his goals in the next 5 years. You know, he said that he wanted to get out of debt, of course. He wanted to stay at his job, make more money in his job, either increasing his skill set, or he didn't want to leave jobs. He didn't want to go from job to job to job. He wanted to stay at this job for the next 5 years, maybe increase his skill set, move up the ranks a little bit. But he's very happy being a route driver. Maybe he can transition to being a trainer, that kind of thing, right? So he wanted to, what he really wanted was a robust 401k Roth. He really loved the Roth. He was fascinated that he came in contact with information years ago. Someone explained to him what the Roth was. He enjoyed that. He thought he can really build on that. Being a young guy, he was really excited about contributing to his Roth. He was so excited because the Roth, you pay into the Roth 1 year, you pay the taxes on the Roths after 1 year, and after that, you're benefiting from the growth of the Roth as you get older. And when you take it out, you don't pay no taxes on it, right? All the taxes are being paid. For the first year, the taxes were already paid, so you don't owe anything on the Roth when you take it out. So that he loved that concept, and I agree with him on that. But he also wanted a strong 6-month emergency fund after 5 years. That's what he wanted. So those are his priorities. That's what he wanted. So let me give you guys my recommendation, what I discussed with him. I asked him that could he, and it's a struggle for him. I asked him, my recommendation was that he get rid of, temporarily stop his Roth contribution. And this was, like, again, one of his priorities. It was tough for him to do that. He eventually did that. First things first was to get his 4 walls up to par. So we jumped on a plan to get his rent taken care of. We jumped on a plan to get his electric bill up to par. Okay, so let me talk to you guys a little bit about what the plan I have for him. It's the same plan I use. Everybody know that, most of you long-term K-2s know that I use a Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover plan, the 7 baby steps to get myself where I am right now. Okay. Most people talk about the 7 baby steps, but they don't talk about, there's actually the 8 baby step. The 8th baby step, I call it, is ground zero. Okay, when you're behind on your bills, guys, you're behind on your four walls, you're behind in your transportation costs or your clothing costs, utility costs, your food costs, right? Your living expenses. Those are your four walls. You're behind on any one of those and you're at ground zero. So we recommend not starting the baby steps until you're up on par of your four walls, right? You think about your mind, right? Think about building a house, a very strong house, right? It starts with the soil, right? It starts with having good ground, right? To build a house, right? You don't want to build a house on a sinkhole, right? You build a house on a sinkhole, guess what's going to happen? Your house is going to start tilting and it's going to fall in, right? You want a good ground, right? Your ground is right here, your mind, right? You start building the foundation. The foundation is your four walls are taken care of, right? You put a immediate emergency fund in place for $1,000, $2,000, whatever it is. Now you're starting to lay down good concrete, right? Good foundation to build the walls of your house, for example, right? You get out of debt. You start putting in all the great professional plumbing and all the great professional electricity in your house, right? All the little, we call it the guts of the house, right? You're taking care of your debt, all right? You start going out. After that, you start going out and making sure that you have all the insurances in place: rental insurance, mortgage insurance, car insurance, health insurance, right? You're building your walls to protect you, right? That's how you build a good financial house, guys, all right? So we want to make sure, I explained that to Eric, and he understand all that. So that's how we got him to the point where now, and I had to do a little financial therapy with him, going back and kind of researching how he grew up. He grew up similarly like I did, a single parent household on welfare. He had like a scarcity mindset, that kind of thing. And we talked about a few other things as well. So we got him to the point where now, after a few months, we got him to the point where he can get his financial life in order. So before we talk about anything further, it's important to talk about the 7 baby steps. Everybody know, again, the plan I've been on, how I got myself in this situation, is using the Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover 7 baby steps. Again, baby step number 1 is saving for a small or immediate emergency fund, or $1,000. That's what I recommend. Baby step 2 is paying off all your debt, starting with the smallest debt first, and then going up and applying that money you spend on your first smallest debt, using that money plus the money you're going to put on for your next smallest debt, and keep snowballing it. Keep putting money on there, keep putting money on here. You pay that off. Take that money you paying that off with the money you're paying on your next bill or your next debt, put that in place. You take your next smallest debt, use that money for your smallest to your second smallest, combine them, put all that money on your third smallest debt, and so forth and so on, to the point where now at the end you're on your biggest debt, and you're going to be paying that off with all the money you applied to all the smallest debts before. So it's just a debt snowball, right? It just keeps accumulating. Okay. Your baby step number 3 is you go back and reach back to your emergency fund that you set in place for baby step number 1. You're going to bring that up to 3 to 6 months of living expenses. You're going to put that money in you're not going to keep that money at your house. You're going to keep that money in a savings account, money market account, credit union, bank, whatever. You're going to keep that money separate from your living expenses money. Ideally, you're going to have 2 separate accounts: living expenses, a bank account, and an account where you keep your emergency fund. Liquid, not non-liquid, liquid, ready to go in case something happens, right? You want access to that money. Some people do it differently. Some people keep a credit card. Some people don't want, or a debit card. Some people don't want no access to a debit card. They just keep the money right there. They go to the bank when they need it. Baby step number 4, okay? Baby step number 4. Well, there's actually a baby step number 3B. It's if you were trying to buy a house, is to save for a house, right? And baby step number 4 is to go back, increase your, now you can start investing, right? Now you can put 15% of your income in stocks, investments, 401k, so forth and so on, right? Baby step number 5, you can contribute to your child's college fund, 529 as ESA. You can go back and do that. Baby step number 5. Baby step number 6 is start saving for a home, paying off your home. Baby step number 7 is to live and give like no one else. Everything's paid for. All you're doing now is building wealth, living and giving. Okay, so that's the point we want to get everybody to. That's the point we want to get Eric to. Okay, let's go back to my recommendations. My recommendation for Eric again was to stop his Roth 401k, call all his creditors, tell them the situation, make plans to pay everything off, minimum payments, right? It's very important to contact these people, because if you don't, you're going to wind up being surprised on your paycheck. Somebody's going to wind up taking money out of your paycheck. Okay, and we don't want that, right? So again, it's important to contact everybody, right? I talked to Eric about selling his car. That was the biggest thing we talked about was that car, man. Because like I told him, a rule of thumb is he had a car that was worth, he bought for $20,000. He was paying $550 a month on the car. And I told him that was best to, with your income being not $41,600. That's your gross, but the money you're gonna be using to get out of debt and build wealth was $32,968, right? And having a car worth $20,000, the rule of thumb is never have anything going down in value, over 10% of your income. And this was well over 20% of his income. But again, guys, personal finance is just what it is. It's personal. So if I'm going to coach you, like I told Coach Eric, I got to be able to coach you and help you out along the way, guide you along the way where you are. Okay. It's not up to me to make that decision. That's up to him to make a decision. All I can do is give him the recommendation. He decided to keep the car. I say, look, no problem. I'm still going to work with you. That's not my thing. That's your thing. But I can still coach you and guide you where you are. Okay. It's very, very important. So he decided to keep the car. But I let him know at the time that if you're going to keep the car based on your income, most likely, I told him anyway, you got to go out and get a side hustle or another job, part-time, full-time anyway. But if you're going to keep the car, it may take you another 2 or 3 years to get out of debt. He decided to keep the car. He had some plans on what he wanted to do in front of his side hustle. We talked about that. Sort of what I do on my side. When I'm not working my full time, I go out and hustle. I do gig work, and he was kind of thinking he wanted to do the same thing. So he wanted to keep a nice, decent car, a reliable car for himself. So okay. So anyway, he knew he had to go out and get a side gig. All right. So after a couple, almost 2 months of getting himself up to his 4 walls, guys, let me go to the next level where me and Eric are in our process. It took him a couple months to get himself right. He's good to go now. Well, maybe not a couple months. Maybe like about a month and a half, a little over a month and a half. It took him to get himself up to par on his 4 walls. Now he's ready to go. So after calling all his creditors, setting up his collections, and it took him 2 months to start, almost about 2 months, about a month and a half to start the debt process. So he got everything up to ready to go. He's almost set. We got a meeting that we're going to talk about his payments and his budgeting, what he got to pay, and this and that and the other. When it came down to his payday loan, they would not accept anything. Payday loan is when you pay them back, you got to pay them back in full. They would not accept like in minimum payments, anything like that. They would not accept payments. They don't do that. Either when you go back in there, you don't have their money, you have to give them the money that you borrowed. Okay. And for him, it was $500. And he had to redo that every time. And until he got the $1,500 that he owed him. Okay. So that was a grind for him. That was every 2 weeks he had to give the money. And we focused on paying that off first, getting rid of that thing. Because if you don't, it's just going to be a hindrance throughout your process. Okay. So this is what we came up with after talking. This is what we came up with. So at the time, he's making $2,536. okay, a month, okay. Now, when we got together, we talked about we wanted to make sure he was on a plan, right? And that plan we all know is a budget, right? So this is what we came up with Eric's plan. This is his budget, initial budget. Rent, $650. Food, $300. Car payment, $550. Okay? Car insurance was $150. Gas was $200. He had rental insurance to insure his furniture at his place, at his apartment, $15. His phone was $50. He had YouTube channel on his TV. YouTube TV was $75. Okay. Payday loan, again, there's that payday loan. That was $500. He had a student loan payment that he was paying $350 a month. He had a credit card that he's sending in $35 a month. And he had his live connection. The live connections are the collections again. The live connections are the collections that are calling you. And Eric was stressed out because he had some people that are calling him every day. That's what I call live collections. All right. The dead collections are the ones that are not calling you. They're out there, but they're not calling you. They're not. You know they're there, but they're not calling. They're not stressing him out every day. So he was putting in $100 for those live connections a month. So that comes up to $3,000. $3,005. Okay? So that's where he's at. And so as you guys look at that, what do you see? What can we eliminate initially from Eric's budget? Right from the get-go, right? You guys see that? Okay, so the first thing I recommended to him is that he get rid of these two things. His YouTube channel, right? Get rid of that. I recommend get rid of his YouTube channel. And, did I miss that? He also had he also had a gym membership. That was Gym membership was $30. So I eliminated the gym membership and the YouTube channel. That brought him down to $2,900. Okay. I also recommended that he recommended that he bundle his insurance, right? Where he can have a car insurance and rental insurance on the same deal, right? After almost 2 weeks, he decided he wanted to do that. After 2 weeks, we got that bundle. We got his car insurance down to $125. He had car insurance plus rental insurance on the same plan, same company, down to $225. That eliminated his rental insurance of $15. Okay, that took him down to $2,800. Okay, I also recommended. I was telling Eric, hey, you're a single guy, man. I think you can lower that food budget, right? Get yourself in order where you can lower that food budget to get you through the month, right? So I got him to agree with that. We got his food budget. We got that food budget down to $240. All right. So that got, I'm sorry, this is 2,860. We got his, after the food budget got cut, we got him down to $2,800. All right. So you see, he's making, when we first started out, $2,536. His living expenses was $3,000. So you can see why he was stressed out, right, guys? You can see why he was stressed out. Having a hard time, borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, that kind of lifestyle he had. So at least we got him down to a respectable $2,800 initially. Okay. So the next phase, we're going to talk about his side hustle, okay? Preferably another full-time job, I recommend it. And he was all on board with that, okay? Now, he chose to keep his full-time, and he chose to do a side hustle. He chose to, go out and do gig work. Walmart, Spark, Walmart, DoorDash, that kind of thing, okay? The game plan is to goal of generating $1,000. This is our game plan. Goal of generating $1,000. Setting up a savings account at a bank. That was going to be for, and also auto that savings account, and then use that as an emergency fund. Okay. He's going to put in $310 a month toward his money, his emergency fund at his bank. Okay. We're going to set up the original savings account that he had at his bank. We're going to use that as what we call a sinking fund, payday loan, payoff, and old collection fund. All right, all three in the same fund. He's going to contribute $100 a month toward that. Okay, his priorities, our priorities we set for him during this initial process was to pay off all collections. The first thing we're going to pay off is the smallest debt first, and that was the most nagging one, the payday loan first. And then after that, pay off all collections, pay off student loan, and pay off the credit card. So after 6 months, I'm going to show you guys what his budget looked like after 6 months. Okay? So after 6 months, this is what it looks like. Before I talk about that, I'm going to tell you what happened to Eric. Our initial goal was to do $1,000 a month on the side gigs. He wound up getting $2,000 on the side gigs. He wound up collecting $2,000 a month on the side gigs on average after we talked. Okay. He started doing DoorDash and working for Walmart, Spark, Walmart gigs. He put $1,000 in place. It took him 2 months to put his $1,000 in place. He paid off his payday loan in 2.5 months. He took the $500 he's paying on the payday loan. He applied that to his live collections. He paid off his live collections in 4 months. Soon after, he contacted the debt collections and started making payments on those. After paying off his live collections and his payday loan, he was able to put $2,000 a month toward his debt collections. And he decided, you also see reflected on the new budget here, he decided he needed more gas money because he's driving gig work. He's doing gig work in his car. He's driving all over the place, so he's going to need more gas money and so forth and so on. Now, that's going to be reflected on his new budget. Okay, so this is what his new budget looks like now, guys. It's dramatically changed. Remember how before he was putting in his living expenses were more than what he was actually making? Check this out and see how this has changed for him. Now that he's got some things paid off, he's working gig work now. Now he's making $4,536 a month. Okay? His rent, again, is $650. His food, we got that down to $240. He's still paying on the car loan. Okay? The car loan is still $550. His car insurance, remember we got his car insurance and rental insurance. together. Remember that? We got that at 125. Okay? We got that bundle. His gas, we putting in more money for his gas. He needs more money for his gas. $300. His phone, it's 100. He needed more data. He needed a better phone, so he went out and got a better phone. He put more money into that as well. His student loan is still $350. His credit card, he's still paying the minimum on that, $35. And his debt collection, this is the most important right now. He contacted his debt collections, and he's now able to put $2,000 a month on those debt collections. Okay? He's very excited about that. He decided that he needed, while paying off his night, and this is something, guys, that again, we talked about me coaching you where you are, me coaching Eric where he is. It's not about me. Personal finance is about him. Okay, so something I don't agree with, but something he decided to do was to also, while he's paying off debt, keep applying money to an emergency fund account where he's building up more money in his emergency fund that he needs to. And I agree, sort of agree, because I'm doing the same thing he's doing. I'm doing my gig work. I understand you need to, when you're doing gig work, you need to have more set aside for, breakdowns in the car, things you may need for the car. You're putting more mileage on your car, so you need to have extra in case something happens. You need to feel, and I agree with that. You need to take care. You never know what's going to happen to your car tires. And again, guys, personal finance is personal. That's what he decided to do. And I'm going to coach you like I coached him and guide him like I guide you. I would have to be able to understand where you are in your situation and be able to help you out where you are. And even though I don't agree, but hey, he decided to put more money in his emergency fund while he's getting out of debt. And I sort of agree with that because I'm doing the same thing he's doing. You want to have, when you're doing these gig works, you want to make sure you're feeling comfortable with having money over here to take care of yourself when you're on the road all the time. Okay, so he's putting the EF, we call it emergency fund. He's still putting in 186 a month. Okay. And that's a total of $4,536. And this is what we call a zero-based budget, guys. That means all your money is called for, right? You have all your dollar soldiers are called for. All your dollar soldiers are going to a certain thing, right? They're working, right? They're working your plan, right? That's what's going to, this right here, this is going to get you out of debt. It's going to get an emergency fund, nice, healthy emergency fund in place for Eric for 6 months. When he's within 5 years, is also going to, when he gets out of debt and gets himself in order, he's going to see that mindset shift in his mind. He's like, wow, I'm going to build some wealth now. Okay. All right. So that's where we at right now, guys. That is where we at after from September last year to April right now. See how this guy's life has changed. See where he's at mentally right now. See where you can see where the stress is off of him right now, right? Remember that list we had before where he had the collections, he had the payday loan, he had all this other stuff? It's all gone. Look, isn't that a clean slate? It's better than it was before, right? So that's where we at. And the priorities right now, guys, are for him is to finish that debt collection. He's going to have that paid off in May. Very excited about that, guys. He's going to shift his focus to the credit card. The plan is to finish that credit card off. We're going to finish the credit card off in August. We're going to set the shift the focus to the student loan. Estimated payoff time is January 25. And then we're going to shift the final focus to his car. Pay that off in June 25. Total months in this process, 21 months. So as you can see, we made a lot of progress, man. And this is very important that, I'm going to mark these down too. So we know at this point he owes $17,000 on the car. He owes $11,800 on the student loan. He owes $4,800 right now on the credit card, and he's only got the $1,000 left on the debt collection. After this month, he'll be done, so in May he's paying that off as well. So you can see he's made a lot of progress. You know, within the months I've known him, right? And so it don't take long, guys. Once you get into the process of getting yourself right and getting yourself into your financial journey, it don't take long to make good progress, all right? So there you guys go. There is a situation where I helped the guy. He's on his way now, and I'll report back to you where he's at. But isn't this a change, right? Isn't this a change for him? Same thing can be for you, man. Okay, guys, so I wanted you to see this. I wanted to share some time with you guys, and you can see this, what's been transpiring in my life and what I've been helping people with the last few months here, okay? These are some of the things we work on. These are some of the background stuff we work on in getting out of debt and establishing your budget and putting a plan in place to attack your debt and to build wealth, okay? This is the process. This is what we go through. This, okay? If you contact me and need help, this is what we're gonna go through. These are some examples of how you can change your life, right? This kind of work right here, right? It's about writing things down and establishing a plan, right? Establish a plan to attack your debt using your individual dollar soldiers in your plan, okay? We're all gonna work together to help you out, okay? You need help, guys, this is what we do. You're gonna contact me. I'll leave my information down below, all right? For you to contact me, you can drop some comments below. You can contact me on my gram. You can contact me on Facebook. And again, I'm gonna leave my personal email down for those of you that wanna reach out to me. On the side, guys, I'm still working late at night on creating a website for you guys. When I have that in place, look for new updates coming up on a lot of different things I've been working on. Again, my Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover Plan update is a couple months away. We're going to have some fun with that. It's going to be the best ever. I promise you that, guys. Best ever. And I'm looking forward to it, okay? But again, I just want to take some time and share with you guys how getting out of debt and establishing an emergency fund and working out all your strategies, your financial strategies in your life, what that can look like, okay? And this guy is feeling pretty good about himself right now, and could be the same for you, okay? So again, welcome K-2s, welcome back. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, share this information. If you think this can benefit you or someone else long-term, share, like the video, okay? And look to subscribe to my channel, okay? Welcome to the K-2 universe. Welcome to the K-2 health channel, okay? K-2s, I hope you're doing well. Take care of your business in 2024, guys. We have come too far to forget who we are. So take it to another level. Raise the bar. Only then can we toast to ancestor stars. Peace.